last night and showed why they are in the middle of the American League pennant race. Their offense was unleashed, scoring early and often as the A's were buried in Game 1 of the series. After 2 solid wins over the weekend, the A's were hoping to get on a roll on this long homestand and start the month of August strong. This series is still up for grabs, and the role of spoiler is in the hands of the green and gold. It's Game 2, A's-Orioles, next.
We are at the O.K. Coliseum, and it's the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland A's. Game 2 of the series. Manny Machado and the Orioles, well, they put a hurting on the A's last night, so it'll be a bounce-back night for the Athletics as they will send the young right-hander Chris Bassitt to the mound. It's the A's and the Orioles coming up on Comcast Sportsnet California. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball here on CSN California. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Chris Bassitt tonight making his 6th start of the year. And Ray, the guy deserves a W, but he doesn't have one yet.
You know, he's pitched outstanding baseball for the Athletics, and you're going to see some shots of a great curveball, something you don't see a lot anymore. That's a 12-6 curve. He has a great one. He can buckle some knees. How about this one? There's the knee buckler. That was against Hunter Pence over in San Francisco, but he's got a good fastball, a great curveball. He's got the big windup, but out of the stretch, he pitches quickly, so he keeps the runners close. Main thing for him, get some run support, make it a little bit easier on him because he has pitched great for the Athletics. Just give him some runs.
For the Orioles, Chris Davis, a bounce-back year for him. He really struggled last year, but a free agent year, and he's coming up big, and he's hot in the second half, right?
Well, he did in the first inning last night. It turned out to be big, a first inning 3-run home run, but he hits lefties just like he hits righties, and Buck Showalter's manager said at one time he could not face lefties, but he's doing a great job against them. You just saw a home run there against the Yankees, and last night Jesse Chavez gave it up to him in the first inning, a 3-run shot. He's so strong, and we remember in Texas he could not make contact. He makes contact now. The ball really travels, and unfortunately A's saw it last night.
So the Orioles trying to get back to the postseason for the 2nd season in a row. Pitching matchup tonight, Bassitt for the A's, and the veteran right-hander Miguel Gonzalez will pitch for the Orioles. We'll have lineups at first pitch from the Coliseum when we come back. A's-Orioles coming up on CSN California.
SN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Beautiful night for baseball at the Coliseum. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Josh Fegley's going to do the lineup card duties tonight. Maybe change the A's luck a little bit after a tough night last night. Hey, you do what you got to do, right?
He'd like to take it out tomorrow. That means the A's would win because that's the skipper.
Right. And then Thursday and then Friday.
That's right. You go with the winner.
Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Another nice night. 69 degrees. And just a few clouds in the sky, but not much. So comfortable night to sit back and enjoy some big league baseball with the Baltimore Orioles in town. Orioles with the big win last night. They jumped on the A's early, so see if we can have a different outcome tonight. Here's the lineup for the Orioles: Machado, Parra, Jones, Davis, Wieters, Hardy, Paredes, Scope, and Snyder.
Well, we have detailed that Chris Bassitt needs some runs. He's making his 6th start, and what he has done in his starting assignments have been great. And what's really the best for him is that he gets to make a start and stay here. In the past, he'd make a start and go back to AAA and then come back and forth, but it's kind of in the rotation, at least for the remainder of the year. And he also said that he likes to pitch out of the bullpen, so whether it's starting or relieving, he does a good job. And the A's can get him some runs against Miguel Gonzalez and the Orioles, can make it a lot better for him and the ball club.
Here's the defense behind Bassitt. Crispin left, Burns in center, Canna in right. Laurie, Simeon, Sogar, Davis on the infield, and Vogt is your catcher. Josh Reddick was in the original starting lineup tonight for the A's, but the back still bothering him just a little bit, so he was scratched from the lineup. Mark Canna put in there, so Reddick will sit out tonight.
So you can say the back was barking, huh?
That's right.
I don't like to see barking backs, but this is why he is out. Missed last night. Catches, makes a great play, and then tries to avoid the bullpen and runs behind the ball boy. And then right there, just started running parallel. They look at the wooden top on that bullpen. That was scary as well, and then went behind the ball boy. And, you know, the ball boy was there. And problem for him, he was kind of a no man's land. If he moved, it might have been a worse collision if he had started moving around. So Josh is back, tightened up a little bit, and missed last night, was scratched before tonight's game.
So we're underway with Manny Machado taking a first pitch strike from Bassitt. Manny Machado taking a second pitch strike, so it's 0-2. Bassitt against Miguel Gonzalez, a couple of right-handers tonight. That big curveball drops low. The final score last night was 9-2. And the Orioles scored 3 in the first and rolled from there.
And it's always hard for a ball club. That was the guy. Chris Davis hit a 3-run home run. When you're on the visiting side and you score early, that's great because the pitcher takes the mound and got a 3-run lead. But you want to get back in the dugout with a 0 and have your offense try to put up some runs. And Chris Bassitt will try to do that tonight against the Orioles. They are a very good ball club.
2-2 pitch is chopped to Simeon. Simeon throws on the run, 1-1. And that'll bring up Gerardo Parra. Now, talking about Bassitt and his starts this year, the fact that he's pitched well but doesn't have a win. The games he has started this year, Ray, the final score: 2-1 loss, 2-1 loss, 5-4 A's won the game, 2-1 loss, 3-1 loss. So again, maybe just one mistake by Bassitt and it has cost him maybe the game.
Well, you just look at the runs that he's given up, and you're right. 2-1, did give up 3 to Cleveland, but he's pitched great. And it's just one of those things. Aaron Brooks comes in, makes his Oakland debut, and A's win that game, scoring 5 runs. It will work out. We have seen it work out with Jesse Chavez, who started to get some run support. Things have changed for him.
Parra takes a rip, fouls it to the screen. Umpires tonight: Alfonso Marquez is the crew chief, and he is calling balls and strikes. Bellino, Siegel, and Diaz, the rest of the group. So 1-1 to Gerardo Parra. And there's a line drive to left field and a base hit.
Kick and hit.
Yes, he can.
Wow. That's the reason the Orioles wanted to get him, and very good defender, as you mentioned last night, and swinging the bat well. Takes this outside fastball, throwing it away from him, and just goes perfectly to the opposite field. Splits the gap between third and short. Solidly hit.
He'll be a free agent after this season. Somebody will pay him. He's a good all-around player.
Yes, he is.
Maybe he stays in Baltimore. You're a hitter. It's got to be attractive to hit at Camden Yards for 81 games. Adam Jones stayed in Baltimore, signed a long-term contract. He's got a contract that runs through 2018. It was a 6-year deal originally.
Very personable young man, and great center fielder, Gold Glove center fielder, great hitter, hitting third in front of Chris Davis. Crash Chris Davis, and he's been crashing.
Jones has been an all-star 5 times. Remember, this year he was voted in on the player selection, and then he was inserted into the starting lineup in place of Alex Gordon, who was hurt, so he ended up being a starter. Pitch and a fastball, and pretty hittable for 0-2. Fouls it back. Most hits in the big league since 2011. Adam Jones is 4th.
It's good company.
Yes, it is.
Miguel Cabrera at the top with the calf injury, and some news in Detroit we'll talk about. That little surprising news in baseball with their general manager.
Pitch, chopped. Simeon backs up for a good hop. Out at second, on to first. Double play. No good first inning for Chris Bassett. Gets the double play grounder, and the Orioles do not score. Here come the A's in the bottom of the first. Here's their lineup. Burns and Crisp at the top, then Vogt, Butler, Davis, Laurie, Canna, Sogard, and Simeon.
And Miguel Gonzalez will be on the mound for the Orioles, and the right hander who will throw a lot of different types of pitches. Good fastball, curveball, slider. He also throw a split finger fastball. 9-7 with a .428 earned run average. That says a lot. You win 9 games with a 4.5 earned run average. That is pretty good. So he will be facing the Athletics, and A's will try to even the series with a win tonight.
So Gonzalez wearing number 50. He's set to go. First pitch is slapped foul. Burns hitting .295, couple of home runs and 19 RBIs. Billy was 0 for 4 last night. Gonzalez, not a real hard thrower. Not a big strikeout guy, but he works in and out.
2 and 4 seam fastball, so he can get the ground balls with a two-seamer, spot the fastball, especially in and out. That's a good curve.
Scope has it, and Burns is retired. So 1 away here in the bottom of the first. So defensively for the Orioles, Travis Snyder is in left field tonight. Then Jones in center and Parra over in right field. Machado, Hardy, Scope, and Davis on the infield. Wieters is your catcher.
Matt Wieters a DH last night, catching tonight. We'll see what he does tomorrow. Day game after night game. Pretty good chance he will not be behind the plate. Even Joseph did a good job, very good job for the Orioles last night. With a 2-run home run. Probably will be behind the plate.
So here's Coco, who had a good night last night. Couple of hits. 2 for 4. A's had a total of 6 hits last night to go along with their 2 runs. A couple of doubles. So Coco 2 of the 6 hits. This one's popped up, headed to foul territory and into the seats.
And from Coco Chris standpoint, 2 hits last night. His first game back after missing all but 44 at bats like that, coming back from right elbow surgery. But when you get a couple of hits in your first game back, you want to keep it going. And for him, the last 2 months of the season, play as much as possible, get as many hits as possible, and carry that into a successful 2016 year. He is signed through 2016.
That one is lined toward right center. Jones on the move. He dives and he caught it. So terrific play by Adam Jones. That's why he's got multiple gold gloves. He was shaded toward left center. And the ball really did not hang up that long, but he was able to get a great jump and make a terrific play.
Well, they play shallow too, a little bit off speed pitch, and Coco out in front. You don't even see Jones in the picture yet, but there he comes, and great angle going after it, left his feet completely. And always nice to know also that you have your outfielder backing up. You can afford to make that chance. And Parra there's behind him, and Coco saying, I know you can do it, go Glover, and showing that he had the baseball.
Our Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, and here it is.
How about blowing a bubble and catching baseball? That's talent.
He was fully extended.
Yes, he was. I mean, that's a real live leave your feet diving catch. Not dive or catch the ball, then dive.
So 1-1 the count to Stephen Vogt. Good to see Stephen Vogt get a couple of hits last night. He was sitting on an 0 for 28. He was 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. One of them knocked in a run, so he's got 14 home runs and 59 RBIs. Now 2-2. 84 miles an hour from Gonzalez.
There's a split for a changeup. Changeup is a split, so he can vary the speed with it.
Got a fastball to hit there, did Vogt. Fouls it back to the screen. These are 47 and 60 on the year, so this is game number 108 out of 162. And a foul tip held on by Wieters. That's a strikeout, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Miguel Gonzalez. Second inning coming up, no score.
That the gold tops,
Yep.
and then for the coaches, the all white. See, that's sharp. I like that a lot.
Well, the color coordination was posted, and everybody had to abide by that.
The staff
Yep.
in the green polos.
I've never seen such a crowded clubhouse as I saw today when everybody was getting ready to come out for the team photo. I mean, everybody. You saw how many were there.
You see the power on the left side of that picture, though.
I
Mickey
know.
Morabito, Steve Vucinich,
Yep.
heavy hitters.
Yeah, that's why I was leaning that way.
Yeah, it was clearly leaning that way. They had to put more guys on the other side to balance it out. Heavy hitters.
Yeah, Cliffy and Maddie.
Belted, right field, lands at the base of the fence. Davis is going to hustle for two, and he is in there with a sliding double. Chris Davis runs pretty well, and he's a big guy, and he's got a leadoff double.
All Mark Cannon could do is turn around and play the carom, and it did not come off the wall very well. And the top spin, he didn't get under this one, and fortunately it was over the top with the top hand. It just was a rocket over Mark Cannon, and it didn't, if it had come back hard, it might have had a better play, but it hit on the warning track and then off the wall straight up. Because Cannon has a very strong arm, good, accurate, strong arm, but Davis does run well.
So Davis at second, and Wieters hits, and Wieters swings and misses. That's the 18th double of the year for Chris Davis. But that team photo, if you would have taken that team photo a couple weeks ago, it would have been a different look than it was today. Some new guys out there.
Woo. How about a cross-up? We just saw one. And they called it a strike. That is rare, that a catcher's crossed up and the pitch is called a strike. Stephen Vogt, he's looking fastball. Watch Vogt. Go up and then down. And Alonso Marquez, he's good umpire, because usually a cross-up, he's going to be moving just like the catcher, but Vogt stayed there, caught it like he knew it was coming when he didn't, and got the strike.
2 pitch to Wieters, lined into the glove of Laurie, and Davis hustles back. So 1 out here in the second.
Well, Stephen Vogt wanted the fastball up and away. He got it. That Wieters hit it hard right to Brett Laurie. That was the only spot it was going to be an out. No chance with the shift for Sogard to get to second base. Plus, Chris Davis stayed close to the bag.
Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy takes a fastball on the corner for a strike. Hardy had a couple of hits and a run scored last night. Overall, 240 the average. Orioles scored 9 runs on 14 hits last night. They had 4 doubles and a couple of home runs. So they were doing their thing with the extra base hits last night. Numbers as a team, runners in scoring position. Orioles coming in 54 and 51, playing well. They've won 8 out of 10, and coming into today they are tied, and again this is coming into today, they are tied with the Twins and the Blue Jays for the second wild card. So 3 teams tied for that second wild card spot. So that is getting more interesting by the day. The Rays 2 back, Rangers 2 back, Tigers 3 back, and all that again coming into today. We have finals coming in, so it could be closer by the end of the day if that's possible. Angels and the Indians are just underway. No score in the second inning. Carrasco and Shoemaker pitching there. Simeon near the bag at second, throws to first for the second out, and Chris Davis goes to third. So let's give you the updated wild card. Now this is with the Blue Jays beating the Twins earlier today 3-1. So the Blue Jays are now the second wild card team. Twins drop back. Orioles now a half game out. Rangers are playing right now. So fun to keep an eye on that wild card. It'll be changing daily.
Blue Jays are making their move. First pitch to Paredes is a strike.
Blue Jays should be making a move.
And they are.
With the players they acquired. Get an everyday shortstop, major league shortstop, not only good offensively but defensively. Troy Tulowitzki and a #1 starter, David Price. That really helps your ball club.
Good pitch there. It's 0-2. Blue Jays won 3-1 over the Twins, and they have won 6 out of 7. And they are now 56 and 52, so they're finally starting to separate a little bit from that 500 mark, a little bit anyway. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, 95 miles an hour from Bassett. So Davis with a leadoff double, but he does not score. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Butler, Davis, and Laurie. TSN California is brought to you by Pete's Cold Brew. Keep it smooth. Good looking lids there. If you're a hat person.
A lot of people are. It's amazing how many hats, caps you see with the logos. And
it's Jewish Heritage Night at the ballpark as well, so a lot going on tonight. Hats have become quite the thing, though, because now, like those two gentlemen, awesome A's fans right there.
Oh, yeah, they're here every game, aren't they?
We love those guys. Those are good A's fans right there.
They wake up. So, what do you want to wear to the game tonight? You know?
Green and gold jacket. Got to stay strong with the green and gold. The only thing which is a bit strange is not those guys. Those youngsters are ball players. You know, I think that I saw that group at Sporting Goods store yesterday.
Buying all
I'm serious. I'm not making that up because they had those orange hats on, and I could have swore the hat said Puerto Rico on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in town for a tournament or something.
Maybe.
Maybe they're going to play at the Coliseum tomorrow after the game. Talk to Clay Wood about that.
Butler hits a high pop-up. Para. A couple steps into foul territory. He's got it. So Billy Butler is retired. One out here in the second inning. So that'll bring up Ike Davis. And we were talking about hats, but what was strange now is like you can get an A's hat, right?
Yeah.
But in other teams' colors, which is a bit strange, but
yeah,
that's the thing now, right?
It's strange.
Look at the Kansas City A's hat.
That's good looking.
With an alternate gold jersey on, and then you got a cap with the elephant logo, so a lot of different possibilities. I was thinking about you the other day when I was talking to a gentleman who said that I like to get my cap and I like to bend the bill. But he said, I don't know, am I supposed to do that? I said, you can do whatever you want to. I said, a lot of people want to wear them with a flat bill and not bend it, but yes, I'm just got to have that bill.
I'm a bender.
Yeah.
Laz Diaz said that Ike Davis went around. So it's 0-2.
Right, he said that's a ball, right? Yeah, but Laz said it was a strike.
Outside.
Still think maybe Dallas Braden kind of started the trend with a flat bill.
He did. I think you're right.
But he had his for a purpose, so he could look out of the corner of his eyes and watch the runner first base. I mean, if he had the cap bent, then he couldn't just kind of peek to his left.
And so it was for an advantage.
Yeah, but but it started the trend. He didn't even know it. As you said, Jack wears his flat, right?
Flat, yeah. I grabbed his hat today a little bit, and he said, "Dad, it's getting bent a little bit." Then I looked at it, and it was straight as a ruler. Yeah. I mean, it was perfectly straight. I said, "Jack, it's perfectly straight." He said, "No, it's a little bit."
Just touching it. Huh? Just touched it. Yeah, you
just touched it. You could have put a level on there, and it would have been, the bubble would have been right in the middle of the line. No.
Yeah, that's.
You have to bend that.
You better.
It's stapled up top. Swing and a miss, and a good changeup from Miguel Gonzalez, and that's his second strikeout.
Well, speaking of caps, follow the Athletics all season in 2015 with the MLB.com at bat, not hat, at bat. The #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. There's a couple of bends in the caps.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all a preference, just how you want to do it.
First pitch to Brett Lawrie. He's outside.
Thinking of Brian Harvey. Remember he was the closer for the Marlins. He turned his. I mean, it was as big a bend as
probably
I've ever
the biggest
seen.
bend. Yeah. See, that's the Maryland state flag. Baltimore, Maryland. Orioles with the Baltimore. See, I'm telling you, you can do anything you want.
That's amazing.
Fastball, and Lawrie swings through it, and the count is 2-1. Lawrie hitting .272 with 9 home runs, 42 RBIs. Lawrie was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Hold up? Yes, he did.
That's a good take. Curveball is a good one from Gonzalez, and he's thrown a few, and try to recognize this man. He's just going to be out of the strike zone. Brett Lawrie started, and immediately Matt Wieters asked for an appeal to first base, and well, he really goes forward with his body, but a lot of times we'll keep the bat back.
So full count to Lawrie. Gonzalez has retired the first 5.
Ken in the on-deck circle. He came in for Josh Reddick on Sunday, but tonight he actually starts in the place of Reddick.
Close pitch outside, and it's a walk. So the first base runner for the Athletics, and here's Canna. Hey, that's Danny Valencia, the newest Oakland A. His numbers with the Blue Jays. Max Muncy was sent back to the minor leagues. So Danny Valencia. These will give him a shot.
Probably tomorrow when Wei-Yin Chen, lefty, will be on the mound.
I was reading some of the quotes from Danny Valencia, and he saw. I mean, and I guess you could understand. He was very surprised that he was DFA'd by the Blue Jays because he was playing a fair amount.
Yeah.
And he was, as you saw by the numbers, in part-time duty. He was having a pretty nice year. 58 games. He had 13 doubles to go along with 7 home runs. So Blue Jays, they got Tulowitzki, and remember they got Ben Revere as well. So they had a couple of position players that they added at the trade deadline. And
I think they sent Carrera down too as well, didn't they? I think the left fielder that was playing was here.
That's right.
He was one because they had to make some roster moves.
That would probably be the 2.
Yeah, with the addition of Revere and Tulowitzki.
To the backstop, and the count even at 1-1.
Now Max Muncy, when Jake Smolinski was optioned at AAA, Muncy stayed because the A's were without an extra infielder. And then with Valencia coming, Muncy was optioned. So it allows Bob Melvin to use Valencia. He can use him in the outfield, the infield, where Stephen Vogt can always play first base. He might be there tomorrow with the lefty. We'll see. Because it could be Valencia as well.
Canna hits one high and foul, headed for the seats. So the count now 1-2.
Well, perhaps one of the best at bats was on Sunday by Mark Canna in the walk-off win by the Athletics. Canna with a double, but boy, the curveballs that he took from out on the closer of the Indians, remarkably able to lay off the hard-breaking pitches. And got the fastball and hit it off the wall for the game winner.
Missed outside to even the count at 2-2. The Rangers are leading the Astros 4-3 in the 7th inning in Arlington. Wild game last night that the Rangers won 12-9 over Houston. So entertaining series, battle for Texas. Canna shoots one foul, hanging in there. Pretty good pitch by Gonzalez.
And this is how he hung in on Sunday against Cody Allen. The fastball 3-1 after the breaking pitches and the Mike Gallego windmill wind-up action figurine. It was winding up as Sam Folds scored from first on the Mark Canna game-winning double. And then how about just one more for good taste?
A little bit. Rub it in at the end. Scope, the second baseman, backpedals. And he reaches up to make the catch. Side retired. Laurie stranded after the 2-out walk. And we're scoreless after 2 at the Coliseum. forward to his next start. Jesse said, my upper body is getting away from me where the ball goes side to side across the plate instead of up and down, something I can't do, especially with the movement I have. If it's flat, it's going to get hit hard. And you know what? That's not uncommon for pitchers. The breaking ball, side to side instead of up and down, and that generally is a bad thing.
Well, the mechanical part is it, and the good part is that he talks about the mechanical part versus everybody concerned about it being tired, maybe worn down, but season high 6 runs, but he's able to figure it out, and that's the most important thing. I still say the A's have several options with starters who could also do well in the bullpen, so there are options for them depending on what they decide to do in the future.
Scope swings through it, 1-2.
Cap, you remember that battery that's on the backdrop siding, Black and Decker? Remember that? Bud Black when he pitched?
That's right. Bud Black and Steve Decker.
Yeah.
Didn't happen for a real long time.
That's right.
Strike 3 call. The fastball on the inside corner for strikeout number 2.
Paredes was blown away the fastball 0-2 at about 95 and then painted the inside corner. The scope, and this is a great fastball, and you're going to freeze a lot of hitters. So the knee buckling curveball he threw to Hunter Pence, this fastball inside corner, so he can go with the curveball or the fastball. Let's go questioning Alfonso Marquez, but that's right on the corner. Great pitch.
Well, Travis Snyder steps in. Our first look at him in an Orioles uniform. Breakdown of pitch usage for Bassett. So 2-0 the count. Snyder hitting .239 with 3 home runs, 20 RBI. An off-season acquisition by the Orioles. Came over in a trade with the Pirates. Orioles looking for a little offense. One hit hard, but just foul. Travis Snyder with the Toronto Blue Jays, who's a very young player. So he's bounced around a little bit since then.
And you're right, a very strong left-handed bat.
Big curve, stays up and away. Top of the order, Machado will be next. A couple of hits for the Orioles. Inside, and it's a 1-out walk. Let's check out our forward right choice. July 6th of this year, Manny Machado turns 23 and becomes the youngest Oriole player to hit a home run on his birthday since Cal Ripken, who did it in 1983 on his 23rd birthday. Machado hit a home run off the Twins' Phil Hughes, and that was leading off the game. So Manny Machado, one of the better players in the American League at a very young age.
I think Buck Showalter said it best. I asked him about hitting Machado leadoff, and said there was one game that he was batting third or fourth, and it seemed like every inning he was that off about 3 different times. So he said, you have your best hitter, you may get 50 or 60 extra at bats by having him lead off. And Machado, 23 home runs, that's a pretty powerful leadoff hitter. Back-to-back strikes by Bassett. Buck Showalter said that, you know, you figure your best hitters, you put them in the top of the batting order, and he's got 3 pretty good ones in Machado, Parra, and Jones, not to mention Davis and Wieters, 4th and 5th.
Machado takes just a touch low, and that was very close.
Bassett thought he had it. Well, he bounced off the mound and finished. Had to be low, if anything, because it looked like it had the corner, maybe just below the kneecap.
breaking ball. Machado lays off. Machado got to the big leagues in 2012. He was 20 years old. And you could tell that he had the tools. Played a half a year that year, and then a big year in 2013. Injured last year.
And he was a shortstop.
Yes, he was.
A very good one. And remember the story that Buck Showalter had him before anybody came to the park in the minor leagues, working at playing third base, because when he came to the big leagues, he wanted him to be able to step in at third without any problems, and nobody really knew that he was coming up and was going to be playing third. And Buck basically just told the minor league people, said, take him out in the afternoon, don't let anybody watch him, and let him get his work in, and he's turned into a Gold Glove third baseman.
Machado will be arbitration eligible for the first time after this year. I wonder if the Orioles won't explore a long-term contract with him. He would be the kind of guy you'd want to lock up.
Oh, 2 to 3-2. See if Snyder's on the move. If the Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson has glowing remarks about Manny Machado, that says a lot. Brooks was an Oriole for his entire career. I'd say Machado probably will be offered that possibility.
Runner goes. The ball's tapped toward Laurie. He'll make the play across the diamond for the second out with Snyder going to second base. So Parra will hit.
Now batting, number 18.
Trying to stay out of the double play. Chris Bassitt 3 ground ball outs in the first inning with a double play, 1 last inning, and a ground out here. So you see that a pitcher is getting some ground balls, and Bassitt is able to do that, trying to stay out of a double play, and now he's got the tough power to try to get out. Single sharply left field in his first at bat.
First pitch to Parra is a little bit inside. Missed again. Now it's 2-0. Adam Jones is the on-deck hitter. Outfield shifted toward left center for Parra. And he takes a breaking ball that's in for a strike. So 2-1 the count with Snyder at second. He had the 1-out walk. That was one of those pitches that Parra took like he knew it was coming.
And he might be thinking they're pitching around him. It might not be a bad idea. Adam Jones, a very good hitter behind him, but he's a right-hander. Parra seems to use the whole field as he did in his first at bat. Seemed to be pitching him in a little bit more in this at bat.
And he hits one to left, coming in on the dive, and Coco made the catch. So Coco Crisp got a good jump, saved a run with a diving catch off the ball from the bat of Gerardo Parra. What a play by Coco to keep the Orioles off the board.
Coco was playing shallow, got a great jump straight in, a diving catch, and that did save a run as the runner had moved to third. Coco, just a second game back from the disabled list. Chris Bassett liked it, and Parr did try to go to the opposite field like he did in the first inning, but Coco robbed him. Look at the right hand. He had it near the glove, just trying to keep it close, keep it in the glove, and once he hit the ground, rolled over, kept it.
2-0 to Sogard, who will be followed by Simeon and Burns. Sogard 246, 23 RBIs. As it keeps taking all the way, and it's in there for a strike. Now 2-2.
I liked what Carney Lansford was talking about Eric Sogard having some great at-bats, and I think, as we talked about, with Ben Zobrist was on the disabled list, so he got a chance to play consistently at second and played very well defensively and some great at-bats. And now with Zobrist traded to Kansas City, he's back in that second base position. And nothing seems to bother him as far as whether it's swinging a bat or playing defense, and that's what you need. You just need to have the stability, especially at an important position up the middle.
It's this one in the air, shallow left center. Jones has it.
Fans, you can join Jose Canseco, Dave Henderson, and other former A's players for the 2016 Oakland Athletics Fantasy Camp, held from January the 15th to the 21st at the A's new spring training facility, Mesa, Arizona. Get out in the stands, onto the field, and create lasting memories with former A's greats. For details, go to hendersonbaseball.com, or you can call 509-993-7338.
So here's Simeon with one out. First pitch outside. Mark is 245. 9 homers and 23 runs batted in. Hitless last night. Swing and a miss. Gonzalez with the fastball up. Curveball hit high in the air to left field. Simeon just got underneath it. Snyder backs up, and he grabs it for the second out.
Tyler Wilson did a great job last night starting for Tillman, who was not able to make the start, and this is what he did. Got a 3-run home run in the first inning, but what a very good job he did. Caleb Joseph doing the catching. But Tyler Wilson did a great job. Farland showed up today. I think Wilson was sent back, but he came in for the spot start. I'm sure impressed a few people, Dave Wallace included, the pitching coach, and the skipper Buck Showalter.
Burns on after a changeup.
And if you come to the big leagues that are sent back down, that's what you want to have. A W, second major league start. And say, I pitched in the big leagues. I did a great job.
I did my thing.
That's right. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are watching him, whether scouts in the stands, the Orioles, and they're going to have a pretty good starter waiting in the wings.
And Burns gets hit, and he'll take first base. Second base runner.
Well, maybe you can see how Matt Wieters is throwing, because Burns with 2 outs, and I always think about the San Diego game in San Diego. Got on the 9th inning, got him on the right thigh. Turned a little bit to get him. Yeah, he's fine. Just spun him to first base. Turned, got it on that thigh, and I mentioned Matt Wieters, the catcher of the Tommy John surgery, the catcher, so he's seeing what he can do. What kind of move Gonzalez has.
Burns 21 out of 25 in steal attempts. Not a bad time to go.
It'd be a great time. I think it's a perfect time, and the reason Coco Crisp is hitting second, let him be patient, being a stolen base threat himself. There's the fake bunt just to do exactly that, but it was not running. I thought when Burns drew the throw from Gonzalez, got a chance to see the move. You don't want to wait too long. It's impressive for a rookie to have those numbers with Altuve, veteran, Kane, Dyson, Kansas City.
Good lead for Burns. Machado on the edge of the grass.
I'd say it's going to be J.J. Hardy covering if there's a stolen base attempt.
You think?
With Scope pulling or shading Coco to pull the ball. Coco hit a couple of balls there last night. Second baseman way over. And Hardy near second base. They're expecting Crisp to pull the ball if he does make contact.
Burns not running. Pitch out.
You read it. That's a good job of base running. Looked like it might have been running. Saw Wieters come out.
Coco hit a fly ball to actually a sinking liner to right center that Adam Jones made a diving play on in the first inning. Burns not running. Coco goes around, and it's 1-2.
I think what Matt Wieters just did there, called a changeup. Get the point, you forget about the possibility of a stolen base, and you want to get the runner, and the percentage you saw right at the average. So calling a changeup fooled Coco, maybe thinking he's going to get another fastball. Now Hardy's moved to the right of second base.
Burns goes, and the ball is hit the other way past Machado for a base hit. Burns never stops, and he will go to third. Head first slide. A pretty good execution by the A's, and it's first and third, 2 outs.
I'm always surprised in a 2-strike count and they shift even more. That is surprising because a good hitter is going to do what Coco does. Gets the fastball with Burns running, but there are 3 to the right side, only Machado's to the left. And if a good hitter waits, he's not going to be over aggressive and pull a pitch with 2 strikes. He's going to probably wait, as Coco did. And Billy Burns running, and even with the ball hit to left field, still figured that Steiner is going to be throwing the ball into second, which he did.
So here's Vogt. Vogt struck out in the first. Ray, I always find this interesting. If you shift it to the right,
pitch it away.
You set up away, and that's where Wieters wanted it. And watch where the pitch is.
You know what I think happened here? See how Wieters is coming up? I think he wanted to be kind of a pitch out,
maybe, yeah,
but not a true pitch out, but enough off the plate that he thought Coco would take it. But from the catcher's standpoint,
shift. You know
I agree. I agree 100%. Or if you're going to do that, make sure the pitch is so far off the plate, he can't hit it.
It's just strange to see a team on the infield shift to the right before that pitch, but then pitch him away, and it really opens up the left side even more.
Just like Osuna was throwing at 97 to Ike Davis, with Reyes playing in like he's going to pull the ball. There's no way he's going to get around one. Now, I agree 100% on that one.
1-2 now to Vogt.
But I think you're just watching Wieters. It's like, let's try to catch the outside corner. Figured he's not going to be swinging. But in reality, Gonzalez didn't make a very good pitch. He really opened it up for Coco to do what he did. If it had been down low, he might have taken it.
Now Wieters with the first and third play. Now he's going to chat with Gonzalez. So Burns at third, Crisp at first. Vogt steps back in, so Gonzalez and Wieters should be on the same page. changeup. It's blocked nicely by Weeder. Weeder's a very tall catcher. I mean, he's about 6'5", and that's about as tall as you'll see from a catcher in the big leagues right now.
He does do a great job not only blocking balls in the dirt, but Buck Showalter says one of the best at one time when you could actually block runners off the plate. You can't do that really anymore. You know, you can, but you have to have the ball. But Weeder showed his mobility, being that tall and yet able to stay down and block the ball.
I guess it would be natural for a tall catcher like that to maybe have trouble staying down and block it, but Weeder's certainly doesn't look like it's a problem for him. Again, he blocked it, and it's 3-2.
And again, another breaking ball. And we saw last night with Caleb Joseph and Tyler Wilson throwing the breaking pitches. He was blocking them. Stephen Vogt, Josh Phegley, his catcher doing a very good job. You're seeing more and more catchers blocking balls better than probably we've seen in a long time. Davis behind Crisp at first now on the 3-2.
Coco and stayed off speed, and he got Vogt swinging. Third strikeout for Miguel Gonzalez, and it's a big one. A's strand a pair, no score as we head to the fourth. Fan photo. Use hashtag CSNCA DataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. No score as we reach the fourth inning here at the Coliseum. It's a nice, comfortable night to watch a ball game. And Chris Bassett will face Jones, Davis, and Wieters, heart of the order. He's walked one, he's struck out two, and he's allowed 2 hits. Inside corner strike to Jones.
And he's been able to nail that inside corner to a few hitters, including Jones, his first at bat. Got him to hit into a double play.
I was looking at Jones, his career numbers, and he has never been on the disabled list. And if you look at games played, you can see last year 159, year before that 160, 162. And I say that only because he throws his body around in the outfield, but when it comes to giving a player a long-term contract, obviously you want him to be a very, very good player. You also want him to be out there.
Exactly.
But he has been that way. Simeon handles the in-between hop, throws, and they just get Jones 1 away.
I wonder too, because of one Cal Ripken Jr. 2,632 consecutive games played. If you sign with the Orioles, you think, I want to play every day.
Get out
Number
there.
19.
That's a good play on a tough hop by Marcus Semien. The ball came up, hit him in the heel, but he stayed with it. And that is just an ongoing work in progress. And Marcus Semien just getting better by the day and by the game. But I think maybe there's a lot to that. I mean, you see Cal Ripken Jr. around, and you see those numbers, and unheard of number as far as consecutive games played.
Well, you're obviously going to be more aware of that record than in any other city.
That's right.
So yeah, you're right. Something to it.
And in reality, days off, I think it really hurts a player at times, and there's certain positions, but I think you're going to be better if you play every day. Your timing's going to be better. And it's, if Cal Ripken, I mean, that's like 17 consecutive seasons without taking a day off.
That's amazing.
I mean, in the first 1,000 games, he didn't miss an inning. You know, and so if somebody like that can do it, and you talk about a guy who put his body out there, he played shortstop.
Sure.
Anytime there was a brawl on the field, it's right in the middle. And I saw him come out of a game where the A's went in. They were playing Seattle. He was limping off. They said he's done. Remarkably played the next day. So it's kind of that body that was able to bounce back, and probably more than anything, his will to play probably said the most about him to be able to play that often.
3-1 now to Chris Davis.
Stephen Vogt got a 3-2 slider. That man right there called it, Matt Wieters, and struck out runners at first and third. Chris Davis probably looking for a fastball. And I think what Wieters and Gonzalez did, and there's a little cutter, but it's almost like, why give in to a hitter? In the case of Stephen Vogt, 3-2, throw him a breaking ball. And here's a case of Chris Davis. You throw him a fastball as hot as he is, it may make it 1-0. So sure, you might walk him, but you also take a chance too of getting a ground ball, getting a double play, get out of the inning, instead of saying, here's the fastball, hit it.
So Wieters steps in. He lined out to third. And that happened with Chris Davis at second base. Interesting note there. That's the average walks per 9 innings this season, and the difference between a reliever and a starter for Chris Bassett. Quick throw. Control. I mean, that's really not a noticeable problem in his starts this year.
I'm just looking at his 5 starts, he's walked 3. So that says it all. A couple of games, I mean, 1-1-1 and 0-0. But yet as a reliever, 3-2-2-2. And the biggest was probably in Texas when the A's scored the 6 runs in the next half inning. He walked 2 batters and allowed the Rangers to get back in the game.
He does fall behind 3-0 to Wieters with J.J. Hardy in the on-deck circle. No score here in the top of the 4th inning. Green light, foul back.
For a guy getting the green light, that was a good pitch because it was running away from Wieters and fouled it to the left side. If he had hit it, it had gone to the left side of the infield again.
This one hit high in the air left field. Coke goes under it and he makes the catch.
That's a good comeback. Good fastball. It's good comeback with the heater.
So Wieters now 0 for 7 in this series.
Now batting, number 2,
J.J. Hardy will hit. Hardy grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. 2 for 6 in the series. Angels and the Indians still scoreless in the 4th inning down in Anaheim. The Rangers still leading the Astros 4-3 going to the 9th inning. Good ball game down in Arlington.
Astros will be here Thursday through Sunday.
Will pop up behind first. Sogard will get there. He's got it. Side retired. A walk and a runner left. Bottom of the fourth coming up. It'll be Butler, Davis, and Laurie. No score.
On Saturday, August the 22nd, all are encouraged to wear your Star Wars costumes and enjoy the post-game show from the outfield grass. Though space is limited, purchase a special ticket package. Receive an R2-D2 beanie. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars for more information. Where did they come into the booth? They're all over the place.
Anaheim. Yeah. Good guys came up in Anaheim.
Yeah. Well, they were scary. All of a sudden you turn around and there they are.
They were the pet guys. Darth Vader and his gang.
Is that it?
Butler, Davis, and Laurie here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Really needs to break a bat and get jammed and get a base hit. Too many atom balls for Billy Butler.
Really struggling. 7 hits in his last 43 at bats. Gonzalez has 3 strikeouts. He's had just 1 hit. That was Coco single in the third when the A's stranded a couple. And a 4-pitch walk to Butler.
Cap, last night, Cap, is interesting this play when Brett Laurie was thrown out. Watch Jonathan Scope at second base. I've never seen this and how the short hop taken by the second baseman. I thought he's going to be safe, but look at the glove. Palm is down, and he catches the ball and applies the tag. Normally, the guys have the palm up. They come up with the low throw and bring the tag down. Scope has the palm down. He catches it and just drops the tag. To be honest, I thought it's going to be safe easily. This is something that J.J. Hardy has taught Scope. Catch the ball with the palm down so you don't have to go up and then down. You catch it, go straight down.
Very interesting.
Never seen that. And it saw it last night. And as a result of J.J. Hardy talking to Scope about making that play, and there's your defense in a play that when I saw it last night, I said he's safe because you're accustomed to seeing guys come up with a short hop and then go down. He did just the opposite. So
really when he caught the ball, his glove was moving in the direction toward the leg as opposed to away from the leg if your palm's down.
So that allows.
Or palm is up, I should say.
Exactly. And
I don't think I've ever seen that on a low throw.
Because they're always coming up on a low throw and then go down. And I mean, it's amazing in watching that, but that's the first time, and it's all about J.J. Hardy telling Scope that's how you do it. And that's why this team is pretty good defensively.
And you know what? If you watch him too, and Scope's pretty big for a second base. You really got to bend your knees and get your butt down to make it easier to do.
But really, and talking to Caleb Joseph, he said that makes it so easy for me as a catcher to hurry even make a short hop, knowing that the second baseman or shortstop's going to make that kind of play. And just, I bet 9 out of 10 times, even greater than that, the runner will be safe just because of the glove going up and then going down. The guy slides under. So credit to the Orioles middle defense, and again, see something new every day. And I must say, I've not seen a play made like that at second base. That's a great teaching tool too to other middle infielders. And if I have missed it with other players, I apologize, but I've not seen it that often.
Hardy has it to Scope on the first double play. 6-4-3 on the double play. Davis is retired. So that is the second out. A's made a trade today. Remember, they had designated for assignment Eric O'Flaherty, which means the A's have 10 days to trade him, and they did that. They sent him to the Mets today in exchange for a player to be named later. So Eric O'Flaherty with the Mets designated Alex Torres for assignment. O'Flaherty in the big leagues. So we're glad for him. He's found a spot on a team that's in pennant race.
Tyler Clipper got a save the other night.
Yes, he did.
I think that was against the Nationals in the Sunday night game.
I think the Mets won again. There's a team to watch right now. They did. The Mets beat the Marlins 5-1. And they are in first place in the National League East. They've won 5 in a row, and they have a 1-game lead over the Nationals. Nationals won tonight.
And Cespedes crushed some doubles at Marlins Park last night that would have been home runs any other place.
Long run for all the Orioles involved, and nobody's going to do it. Oh, there was a lot of controversy around the Mets, and I mean, frankly, there was criticism, but when it's all said and done, they got Cespedes, and don't forget, they got Juan Uribe. Right. And I think Juan Uribe is still a really good player, especially for a team in a pennant drive. They got Clippard, they got Kelly Johnson, so they picked up some important parts to go along with the terrific starting rotation. So the Mets will be fun to watch the rest of the year. High fastball, and Laurie took a big rip, and the count 1-2.
When you think about the Bronx and Flushing, you got the Mets and the Yankees both
That's
at
good
the top of the division. So the whole New York area is going to be having a good time with the attendances.
High in the air, shallow left. It looks like Snyder doesn't see it. He still doesn't see it. And coming out of nowhere is Adam Jones. That was impressive. I don't know that Snyder ever saw it. And Adam Jones saw that his left fielder didn't see it and then just came racing across the field. Look at that.
And be able to split in between. Hardy didn't see it either. Here comes Jones. That is unbelievable.
Anderson, Paredes, Scope, and Snyder to bat against Bassett. First pitch roll foul.
Adam Jones, look at it. In center field, just standing there. Watch this. Here it comes, and just splits right between Snyder, who didn't see, and Hardy.
That was pretty awesome.
That was unbelievable. I mean, he was just standing there, figured, oh, they've got it, and then he sees the hands up. That's what you do if you don't see the ball. And here comes Jones,
the savior. That was good. So 2-1 the count to Paredes, who struck out in the second inning.
And why, when you see a play like that, are we reminded of Derek Jeter coming out of nowhere, you know, with Jeremy Giambi? But those, you know, instead of just standing around doing nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has to see his outfielder signal. I mean, he may be looking up at the baseball. That's what you would think an outfielder would do, but he maybe saw out of the corner of his eye that Snyder had his hands up and wasn't seeing it. Good breaking ball, nasty stuff there. Paredes strikes out for the second time.
You know, that's why it's important. If you don't see the ball, you let everybody know. You don't just stand there because the ball's going to drop. Good curveball from Bassett, a slower variety of the curveball. So he gets a 95 to Paredes in the first at bat. Then this curveball for his second strikeout against the designated hitter. That's a bad feeling if you look up and you cannot see the baseball, whether it's a tough sun day, which could be tomorrow, or twilight in a night game.
First pitch curveball to Jonathan Scope for a strike. And not fully dark yet.
No. Beautiful sky, too.
Got a little orange in it. It's pretty. Liner, Simeon leaps, cannot quite get it. Scope will hold at first. So 1-out single for Jonathan Scope.
Chris Bassett has used the inside part of the plate. Matter of fact, he struck out Scope first at bat on a fastball in. He comes back with another one. This time maybe not as far inside as he wanted it, but Scope also might have been looking for it, or in the case might have had the runner, the hitter in the on-deck circle, letting him know it was a fastball in, or at least the location was there.
Snyder walked in the third, and he takes down and in. Machado will be next, so this is an important guy to get. Scope is not a base stealing threat. He has just one. Infield looking for a ground ball, and it's outside. 2-0. Outfield shaded toward right. 3-0.
It's almost like he does not want to pitch inside to the left-hander. Machado is grounded out twice to the left side, but to Snyder, who is capable of hitting the long ball, and he stayed away.
Strike called, and that one was maybe a borderline pitch, but Bassett gets the call. 3-1. Not a real big lead at first. He's not going anywhere, and it's a swing and a miss, and now it's 3-2.
And maybe that pitch right there just showed him that he can challenge him towards the middle of the plate. Snyder with a big swing, looked like he wanted to try to pull it. Snyder was running when Machado grounded out. Snyder was at first on a walk in the third. Made it to second. See if Schoop runs also.
He does not run. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So strikeout number 4 by Bassett.
And you have to know your personnel. You figured that Machado was going to make contact. Snyder, a big swing even with a couple of strikes. Swung through it. That's why Schoop was not running. He would have been running into strike him out, throw him out. That is a good fastball, great recovery. Like you said, the 3-0 questionable. He gets the call and comes back and throws 2 very good fastballs.
First pitch to Machado is in for a strike. A couple of ground outs for Machado, one to short and one to third. He's 1 for 6 in the series. Bounces this one up the middle into center field, a base hit. Schoop stops at second. 2 on, 2 out, and it'll be Parra.
Again.
Again.
Right back up the middle, and this ball got a little bit too much to plate. The first pitch off the plate outside corner was a good one, but this one Machado has power, but also found the hole up the middle. Yeah, ran hard just in case Burns bobbled it, but Schoop I don't think had any intentions of going to third with 2 outs.
Parra has singled and he has lined out. Coco Chris made a very nice play. It was in the 3rd inning and it saved a run. Parra batted with a runner on second and 2 outs.
Good breaking ball down and in, and really Parra has shown that his opposite field approach is excellent with the fastball twice. Base hit and then robbed by Coco. Then first pitch in this at bat, breaking ball down and in, trying to stay maybe in the inner part of the plate. Catching is all about remembering what hitters have done. Scouting reports are there, but you have to remember how you pitched them previously and how much they have changed, maybe in their approach, their footwork, and how you're going to pitch them in the following bats.
Parra taps one up the first base line. Bassett picks it up, underhands to first. Side retired. 2 runners stranded by the Orioles. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Cannon, Sogard, and Simi that hit for the A's. Real Strong Redwood. Why Redwood? Visit realstrongredwood.com.
You know, Chris Bassett's done a great job again tonight, and he's still at a 0-0 game.
He's probably used to it, unfortunately for him.
It's going to make him a better pitcher.
Yep.
He has proven that he can pitch. Gets out of some tough jams, which he just did in top half the inning.
First pitch to Cannon is popped up. Hardy, the shortstop, lets everybody know he's got it, and he does. First pitch, Cannon pops out, so he's retired, 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Sogard. Miguel Gonzalez quietly rolling along as well. Gonzalez, the 31-year-old. Gonzalez was signed as a minor league free agent back in 2012, and sometimes, Ray, when you sign a guy as a minor league free agent, generally he's been with another organization for a while in the minor leagues. Yeah. That's kind of where your minor league scouting departments got a chance to sign a guy, and the Orioles did, and he's really done a nice job. He got to the big leagues in 2012. There's a line drive, fair. Bounces off the wall in the right field corner. Parra gets it in, and Sogard has a double.
Talk about a great at bat. Watch him wait on this slow curve, floated in, and Sogard kept the bat back and hooked it down the line, kept it fair. So an easy double for Sogi with 1 out in this inning. But at the foot down, kept the bat back, and that's a slow curve, and sometimes that really helps a hitter when it's thrown that slowly, and definitely helps Sogard to stay back and hit it hard.
Sogard's first extra base hit since June 17 at San Diego. So see if we can get Sogard rolling a little bit, as he has a 1-out double. Gonzalez, a breaking ball for a strike to Marcus Semien. Semien with a fly ball to left field in the 3rd inning. Hitting in the 9th spot. Burns will be next. Good pitch, and it's 0-2. So curveball first strike, fastball first strike. And another fastball, and on 3 pitches, Semien is retired. So that's strikeout number 4 for Gonzalez.
Gave him a little cutter to start, and then came back with fastballs and just kept moving out a little bit farther than Wieters. And pretty good sequence, and especially not wasting any pitches. It went right after him, and maybe that in itself surprised Semien.
Gonzalez's last start was against the Tigers in Baltimore, and he gave up 10 hits and 5 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. Got knocked around big time. There's a shot to center. That's a base hit. Here comes Jones. They're waving Sogard in. The throw to the plate hits the mound, bounces high in the air, and that helps Sogard score, and the A's lead 1-0. Tell you what, that throw was right on line, but it hit the mound, and that forced the ball to bounce way up in the air, and I think that helped the A's a lot.
Absolutely, 100%, and Jones looking in and smiling, and he got the ball just as Sogard was rounding 3rd, charged it perfectly, and this is a great shot right there, then straight up. And all Wieters could do was jump, catch, throw to second, but Billy Burns just kept running. But that is great charge by Adam Jones, but if the ball is this side of the mound, probably is out at the plate by plenty. But good break for the Athletics with the ball. He still can't believe it, but charged it perfectly, made the strong throw, accurate, but maybe too good because it popped up. A good hitting by Billy Burns, and 2-out hit.
And here's Coco. So Burns gets his 20th RBI, a big 2-out RBI single.
Oh, Billy Burns swung the first pitch.
Yep. Glad he did that time.
No, it's amazing. Really saw 3 pitches in the first, 2 in the second when he's got hit, and then 1 in this inning.
And now 2-0 to Coco Crisp, who has been robbed of a hit in the first by Jones in center and then singled in the third. 1 for 2. Sounds like Bob Melvin's going to go 2 on, 1 off with Coco Crisp. So may see Coco get the day off tomorrow. And there's a strike on the outside corner.
It's usually what happens with a player returning from the disabled list, especially missing as much time as Coco did. Got a broadcast partner in the other booth. Kind of seems like a little bit of the
2 on, 1 off.
It's good to have Korak back, though. He's working consistently, which is good.
Long homestand.
It's good to see him back because he's grinding it out, and he said he may do the rest of the season.
He's going on the road?
No. Just but after this,
that would have been big news.
Everybody's going to go to Seattle and Arizona, so at the radio voice back of the booth consistently. Let's see.
Just a bit off the plate, and now it's 3-1.
I guess that's why Cal Ripken never got hurt, because if he was 2 on, 1 off, that wouldn't have worked out very well for that streak. Huh?
No, the streak would have been 2 games. And it's close play at second, and they almost got it.
You know, I think that surprised Gonzalez. A lot of times you do the inside move and it's just a get him back, but Burns might have been running. Look at the lead he had, and he was taken off, and then the inside move is very dangerous and for a base runner at second base. But when Gonzalez turned it to, he's off, I can get him, and then just a little bit delayed throw, and Hardy was there, but able to get back was Billy Burns. And I think he was running. Some people would like to see that move eliminated, just as the fake to third, throw to first or look to first. That's why it makes it a little hard to steal third from second when the pitcher does utilize that move.
Not close in the dirt, and Coco has the walk. So walk number 3 by Miguel Gonzalez. So he'll get a visit from his pitching coach, Dave Wallace, longtime pitching coach.
Think of the Orioles and the George Bamberger was a pitching coach, Ray Miller. Earl Weaver, of course, has the most wins as an Oriole manager, many years.
Who was Earl Weaver's pitching coach?
I want to say Bamberger.
Was it Bamberger?
I want to say George. I'd have to think about it, but
sounds right. George Bamberger went to the Brewers as the manager.
Yeah. Dave Duncan probably could have made a great manager, but he stayed as Tony La Russa's pitching coach, and Tony was fortunate that Dunk did stay in that area, working great with the pitchers.
Missed inside to Stephen Vogt. I wonder, Ray, in this spot in the game right now, if Gonzalez is too concerned about Billy Burns at second base.
That's a good point.
There's 2 outs.
Should not be.
The only guy he should be worried about is Vogt, but he seems to be a little distracted by Burns at second.
Ricky was the best at doing that. At second base with 2 outs. It's almost like the pitcher was afraid to throw it because he thought Ricky was going to run. 2 outs. Still, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's got to be 100%. If Burns can do that, he can be just as important distracting as he can running.
I mean, all of a sudden, Gonzalez having trouble throwing strikes.
Speed. It's amazing. Billy Burns has it, and even coming in, the Orioles had not seen the Athletics, and first thing he said, "Tell me about Billy Burns." He said he can run, and they have found out. That you're right, Kat. He is thinking about it. Stephen Vogt might be the beneficiary of all this. He might get a groove fastball and drive it, and not only drive in one, but drive in two or maybe three himself if he can hit it out.
One past Mike Gallego, rolling down the left field line. That's the only guy right there that Gonzalez couldn't get hurt by, Stephen Vogt.
To see him take his right hand and hit himself in the helmet because he pulled off that 2-0 pitch. It was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And Stephen knows there's a lot of hits to left field, and when he was struggling, he's pulling off, but when he stays closed and goes the opposite field, that's when he's at his best. And he go back inside with a breaking ball.
So 2-2 to Vogt. A run in for the A's on Burns' RBI single that scored Sogard. So 1-0, bottom of the fifth. Orioles know the team they're chasing. The Yankees won big tonight at home over the Red Sox. So right now the Orioles 6 back. And a swing and a miss. Actually a foul tip held on by Wieters. Side retired. A's get a run on 2 hits. 6th inning coming up. It's now the A's 1 and the Orioles 0. Authentic Fan Friday coming up this Friday. The Astros will be in town. Get a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's fan jersey, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher. It's all for one great price. The best deal in Bay Area baseball is CSN's Authentic Fan Friday. He may be up there. So, sunglasses that have a Raleigh Fingers mustache chained to the lower part of the glasses, so built in. Somebody came up with that idea.
I like the hair too.
Hair's good, yeah. It's not real.
That is a unique mustache, though, with attached to the sunglasses. Evidently can't see through the sunglasses because he had to lower the glasses to find out what was going on. See, it's pretty powerful sunglasses. Tommy Adza can find them all.
Our Emmy Award-winning director, Tom Adza. Terrific, as always.
By the way, we might mention Chris Bassett has a run.
Yeah, that's it. Go get him.
That's it.
1-0. Hey, Chris, go get him.
Pitching well. I mean, he had Adam Jones trying to bunt, and it was Jones' throw that hit the mound. You don't often see that, but you hope it happens just at the right time, especially when you know the runner's going to be out.
Curve, and Jones swings and misses. Strikeout number 5 for Bassett.
Tantalizing curveball from Chris Bassett. It's a good one, and arms and legs, and pulls the string, and it's like slow pitch softball. Jones trying to wait back. I mean, he took his stride, put the foot down, the bat, the buckle, the knees, and then swung at a pitch in the dirt. Finished strong, high.
He's down 1. There we go. Big swing by Davis, fouls it back. Frontwards K. That means swinging. Backwards K. That means looking.
And you hope you have enough Scotch tape.
Oh, 0-1 to Davis. Way outside. Davis has doubled and walked. He had just the 1 hit last night, but it was a big one. 3-run homer in the first. There's your shift on. Outfield pulled over as well for Davis. Lays off. Davis 27 home runs this year, and he's done that in 375 at bats. Has played all but 2 games this year, so he stayed healthy and in the lineup. And he drives one right center, burns in, and he's got it.
Every time he swings, you hold your breath.
Yep.
And he takes the big swing, and ball got just enough on the hands to not able to drive it into the seats, but some good hitters in this Orioles lineup. But you get this guy out, you only have to worry about the next 8 before you get back to him. Powerful hitter.
See, in on the trademark.
Yep. There's just that sweet part of the bat. Boyhood idol Stan Musial. I love the story where Dal Maxwell said, "Stan, you never get jammed." He said, "No, I always hit it right in this spot." Same
that
spot.
would make perfect sense.
In the sweet spot. Break a bat, never break a bat. Stan Musial never broke a bat.
Pitch number 89 coming up for Bassett.
Couple of big innings. 21 was the one, but he has pitched well.
2-pitch jam foul.
Scotty got cold. Had to put the hoodie on. Sweatshirt, hoodie. I mean, he was. It's not that cold, Scotty.
I don't think it is either, but there's a blanket. Maybe it is that cold. We're fine up here.
Maybe he's showing Hayes merchandise, you know. Shows the Yoda and then puts the hoodie on, the sweatshirt.
0-2 to Wieters, who has lined out and hit a fly ball to left field. Low fastball at 94 miles an hour. Wieters just got a piece of it.
Well, the initial 24 baseballs were rubbed up nicely. But you can see a lot of rubbing done by Chris Bassett. Some of the new pearls coming out this time of the game. And that's why the curveball just not breaking sharply. Casey Chavez does a lot of the rubbing. Mikey Thalbin, they rub up the baseballs to get the shine off. But they only do so many. And then they run out.
So 2-2 now. That one blocked by Vogt. Hardy would be next. See what happens with Wieters. So Bassett pitching well, but it looks like by the pitch count he's going to need the bullpen tonight.
He struck him out. Tight little slider for strikeout number 6. So Chris Bassett's been terrific. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 1-0 A's lead.
Well, it's been Chris Bassett used that nice Rawlings glove to pitch 6 solid innings, striking out batters. A good fastball, good curveball. They got Matt Waiters with a slider, and Billy Burns, the 2-out run-scoring kid, thanks to this ball hitting the mound and scoring with Sogard. The second base was Billy Burns, and that is it. 1-0. Chris Bassett with a lot of run support. Bob Melvin trying to win this game to even the series before tomorrow's series finale. You can find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So Billy Butler to lead it off, bottom of the 6th inning. Butler a fly ball to right and a walk so far tonight. That was belted down the left field line, but foul. Butler out in front. Looks like he was looking for something inside and he got it. Look out. Foul just below us. We were ready. Ron, our cameraman, Joe, the stage manager, they were ready to cover for us.
I'm glad Ron's there.
Landed her right. Yeah, that's right. Ron is the guy that you want on your side.
Duck and Joe.
Hit well to right field. Parra, a long run near the fence. Bounces off the warning track and up over the wall, and it's a leadoff double.
Well, you don't see that often where a hitter gets out front, pulls the ball home run distance, gets the 2 strikes and goes opposite field with a ground rule double. Fastball away, and Billy Butler said better shorten up a little bit and go opposite field, which he does perfectly. Ball slicing over Parra's head, and he got it. Ground rule double.
So see if the A's can tack on an extra run here as Ike Davis steps in. Ike Davis takes the fastball inside. Rangers hung on to win that game at home over the Astros 4-3. Chaz Rowe starts to throw the right-hander. So the Rangers are playing well. Hanging on to win games, and that happened tonight. Cued toward third. Ball's got some spin on it, but Machado stays with it. So Davis is retired. Butler stays at second. Well, remember, CSN California has added every remaining A's game to the schedule, so join us tomorrow at 12:30 for an A's baseball breakfast against these Orioles. It's presented by Black Bear Diner. Every A's game will now be televised this season. So again, that's tomorrow. Wei-Yin Chen and Kendall Graveman is your pitching matchup. 12:30. Final game of the series, and then 4 against the Astros. First pitch to Brett Lawrie is a curve. May have been a cross-up. I think it was, but Wieters was able to catch it, and it dropped right in for a strike.
And see, Stephen Vogt had this happen, and he just threw the ball back and said, let's go. Matt Wieters is going to go talk to his pitcher. So I'm surprised Vogt didn't do it. I mean, anytime a cross-up, you got to get it straight. Because, you know, it's one thing if you're looking fastball, get a curve. You can do that. But if you look at curveball and it's a fastball, you don't have a chance.
One pitch, fastball, and now it's 0-2. Interesting note, opponents versus the breaking ball by Miguel Gonzalez last year compared to this year. Really, you just got to look at the average. But the slugging percentage twice as much. So the breaking ball, good pitch last year for Gonzalez, not as good this year. That one's drilled left center field. Jones can't get it, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Butler will trot home. Lawrie round in second, digging for third, and he's in there with a sliding triple, and it's 2-0 A's lead.
Now that's driven this enough. Brett Lawrie taking a Phillies fastball down the right field line in Texas. Look at this location. He went on top, got on top of the high fastball, and drilled it to left center field. Adam Jones, the Gold Glover, could not get to it, playing towards right center, a little bit shallow, ball hooking away from him. And Brett Lawrie with Billy Butler at second. That's perfect. And let's go, Billy. He's going to score easy. He just take it easy. But coming behind him and sprinting was the man with the triple.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog expert.
Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So the A's now with a 2-0 lead thanks to Lawrie's RBI triple. So Miguel Gonzalez out after 5 1/3 innings. 5 hits, 2 runs allowed. So Mark Canada faced Chaz Rowe.
Well, the Orioles have an outstanding bullpen. This is one of them. And good fastball. They've got some power coming out of the bullpen. Showalter not waiting around as he went to the hard-throwing right-hander Rowe.
His 6th appearance for Rowe.
And infield in too. And Mark Cannon just trying to get the ball to the outfield. She's playing shallow. Maury with excellent speed at third. Might go on contact. We'll see.
Canna chases, and it's 0-2. Canna has popped out to second and popped out to short. Facing Chaz Rowe, 28-year-old right-hander. Oh-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, 93 miles an hour.
Slight movement, and it started outside, maybe to the point that Cannon thought it was a ball, but that's just good old country fastball there, right on the corner. And pretty impressive, as he did with Simeon. Gonzalez went after him 0-2, and Rowe after Mark Cannon. That's a big out. He has to do something with 2, and it'll be Simeon facing the hard-throwing right hand.
Sogard will get the walk.
Check the stat pack. I bet Sogard doesn't have many of those.
Let's check. Sogard. It's his first.
And it's all percentages, and that's what's the name of the game. Lefty. Sogard the double in his last at bat. That was against Gonzalez, scored the A's first run. Look at Readers.
Yeah, he looks like he's 6'9" next to Sogard.
It's a big target for the pitcher to throw to.
If you miss that, if you throw it over his head, you should be sent to the minor leagues.
Number 10, Marcus.
Like Nate Fryman and Jose Altuve.
That's right. That was a good one.
Altuve standing on the bag trying to get taller. Chris Bassey got 2 runs. They just keep mounting, don't they?
Yep. So here is Simeon. First and third, 2 outs. Good Orioles offense, so insurance runs a good idea. First pitch, outside corner, strike. Well, looks like it could be off the plate just a little bit, but Rowe got the call on Canna, and he went right back out there. Inherited runners stranded, 14 out of 50. So Rowe doing a nice job in this Orioles bullpen. Hit well left field. Snyder's back, and that one is off the top of the wall, and that baby's gone. A 3-run shot for Marcus Simeon, and the A's now have a 5-0 lead.
Number 10 for number 10. And that is a huge 3-run home run for Marcus Simeon. Cap, I'm going to ask you something. Didn't you say he was just throwing fastballs by him?
Yep.
And what did he hit?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Indeed. Floated one up there.
Fastballs by Mark Canna. Had no chance. First pitch fastball to Marcus Simeon. And then he's going to fool him with a breaking ball. And Simeon crushed it. First 3-run home run for the A's shortstop. And that is a huge blow.
So home run number 10 for Marcus Simeon.
So the intentional walk to Eric Sogard and a bad pitch from a pitcher standpoint results in a 3-run home run.
So 4 runs here in the 6th inning for the Athletics. And a strike called. That didn't have to be. This does not look like a strike. And that's not a strike.
No, it's not. Wow, not even close.
And there's the walk.
Well, for Marcus Semien, a breaking ball and a hit me breaking ball, and he hit it. Look where he hit it, on top of the wall, and had the top spin to take it over the wall, and that's the key. Hit it great carry, but look where it hits and how it goes right there. Boom, it's over. How about that? That's great. Stephen Vogt's happier than Marcus Semien.
He's a happy young man right now, Stephen Vogt. So Coco hits, 8th man to bat in the inning.
See, Chris Bassett was standing up. You can't believe that's 5 runs.
You don't know what to do.
No, I mean that's a week's worth, 2 weeks worth.
Well, McFarland, the lefty, starts to loosen up for the Orioles. So Chaz Rowe has not had a good outing. He's faced 4 hitters, walked 2, gave up a 3-run homer. One of the walks was intentional. Burns runs. Wieder's throw is not in time. Burns called safe. So Burns gets his 22nd stolen base.
He jammed his neck. He's kind of rubbing his neck as he went in that headlong slide dive. And just barely got in. Hard tag on the back, but straddling the bag was the shortstop. Nearly slid in the right hand on the foot. J.J. Hardy.
I thought there was a replay, not that last one, but the one before, where it was very, very close.
Well, I think you're going to see if the foot, but it looked like the left hand got in on the bag. Take a look again. See the left hand. The right foot is going to stop Burns from going in. Does the left hand get in before the tag is applied? That's close.
Yeah, I think he's safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Orioles are challenging.
That's that left hand.
Ruling on the field where the runner was safe.
Yeah, I think the hand was on the bag.
Or at least too close to change. But there's the case of a middle infielder straddling the bag instead of catching the ball in front. See how Hardy is straddling. Check the hand. The right hand was blocked by the left foot of Hardy, but the left hand was going in between the legs. Slow down, slow down. Safe. What do you think? When he slowed down, was he out?
Boy, that one. See, now that one looked like he may have been out.
See what Alfonso Marquez is pointing to the hand, how the palm, but the fingers were up, but an umpire behind the plate and diamond level just give the thumbs like he's out. But they don't matter. It's the guy in New York or whoever's in New York. Left hand, tag on the back. Where's the left hand? Is it already there?
I think it's too close to overturn, but what do we know?
Well, one of the things, Skype, that I've been told is that the slow-mo, that because the play at first base when Lindor was picked off by Graveman, it took so long, but they were waiting on the slowed down version of the play, and maybe they're waiting for this slow motion. There's Dan Molino, the first base umpire on your left. He made the call. Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief. Jay Williams made a strong, quick throw on it, and
Sure did.
J.J. Hardy again looking, watching the play. Wieder's looking at the replay, looking at the umpires, and they're waiting for New York.
Chris Siegel is the second base umpire.
Oh, that's right. Seager, not Bellino. Bellino was the first. Whoa. Wow.
I did not see that coming.
I didn't either.
So that's how the inning ends, but it was a good inning for the A's. 4 runs, 3 coming on this triple, and then the Simeon 3-run shot. 4 spot for the A's. 5-0 as we go to the 7th.
Six people. A's Mini Suites include game ticket, set food package featuring sliders, hot dogs, the first round of beer, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/mini-suites. What a way to watch a ball game.
So a 4 spot for the A's, and they now lead 5-0. Sam Fuld comes in the game in right field, so Canna is out. And Chris Bassett back to work at 93 pitches and 6 shutout innings. And he faces J.J. Hardy. First pitch is a strike. Indians and the Angels still 0-0, bottom of the 7th inning. Angels looking up to see that the Astros have lost, so they have a chance to cut that lead to 2 in the AL West. Rangers 4, Astros 3 earlier. Ike Davis scoops it up, and Ike Davis steps on the bag, 1 out.
A defensive change for the Athletics.
So that'll bring up Paredes. See, it was the losing pitcher for the Astros. It was Dan Straley and called up to pitch.
Yeah, because McCullers was optioned after his 1/3 inning last night.
Now batting, number 38, Jimmy Paredes.
Well, the Rangers have won 10 out of their last 14, and they are at the 500 mark. In fact, in that game, Ray, the Astros had 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the top of the 9th, down by a run, and they could not get the tying run home. Bounce to second. Sogard to Davis. 2 away.
And that's what you like to see, a left-handed hitter rolling over on a fastball outside. And Chris Bassett in this inning comes in with a shutdown inning in place, and 4 pitches, 4 strikes, 2 ground balls to the right side.
Now batting, number 6, Jonathan Schoop.
So Schoop will hit. Strikeout and a single for Schoop. Fastball just a little bit high. So next pitch will be number 100 for Bassett.
And for him, 7 innings would be great. He's got to be thinking about that. Bob Melvin's got to be thinking about it.
Bassett kicks 2-0 to Scope. And that was belted toward the gap in left center field. Rolls to the wall, and Scope has his second hit. So he's had a good series. Scope now has 5 hits in this series.
2-0 fastball, and it was right there. It said hit me, and fastball up a little bit, and a very good swing by Scope. Bullpen's got to get busy. Like Fernando Bond's going to get loose, but you get 4 pitches and you get 2 outs, and then 3 pitches and a double, and get a visit from your catcher and third baseman just to give Fernando a little bit extra time.
He's thrown a 91 with his first 2 warm-up pitches down there, so he'll be ready quickly. Rodriguez will join him. So righty and a lefty. Well, Melvin wants to make sure nothing weird happens in this inning.
Went over to talk to Jim Palmer about Earl Weaver and the pitching coach. It was George Bamberger and then Ray Miller.
Ray Miller was there a long time.
Yeah, because Bamberger, when Hank Bauer was actually Earl Weaver was a coach, and then Bauer was fired. Weaver took over, and Bamberger was a pitching coach. There's Jim Palmer to the left, Barry Thorne to the right, and then George Bamberger went to the Brewers in '77 or '78 actually. After the '77 season, that's when Ray Miller took over, and Miller of course had Palmer towards the end of his career, and then all the lefties: Flanagan, McGregor, Steve Stone, that guy that gave up that home run.
No, it was Bob too.
Ray was good. He was manager of the Twins.
Swing and a miss by Snyder, and the count 1-1. Snyder has walked and struck out.
Chris Bassett, every pitcher, 7 innings is great. If you can do 7, 6 innings, 6 and 3, they call it a quality start. 7 is great. Chris Bassett finally getting some run support, trying to get through this inning.
Well, he's at a season high 102 pitches. Snyder chased the ball, and now it's 1-2. So Bassett would love to finish on a high note.
Aaron Brooks on Saturday night. Sonny Gray, of course. Jesse Chavez. Kendall Graveman. Good rotation, and they're all young. That's what's great, and pitching well.
Sets up outside, 1-2 pitch swing and a miss. He struck him out at 96 miles an hour. So 7 strikeouts for Chris Bassett, and he has thrown 7 shutout innings. Crowd loves it, and we have reached the 7th inning stretch. 5-0 A's lead the Orioles. Showalter's playoff history started with the Yankees, and then, of course, he left, and the Yankees won it all. Sometimes that's the way it works. He started the Diamondbacks. He left. Bob Browning won it all. But he's done a terrific job with the Baltimore Orioles. Recently, a couple postseason trips, including last year and in 2012. He's a good manager. And he's got a long contract with the Orioles, so he will be there a while. TJ McFarland's the new pitcher for the Orioles. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So the lefty comes in, just brought back up to the big leagues. So he'll face Crisp, Vogt, and Butler. So Chris Bassett, 7 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts. Talking to Walt Horn. Coco flips one down the right field line, but foul. So 0-2 the count. Coco has been robbed of a hit. He has singled and he has walked. Taps this one toward Hardy. Hardy throws across the diamond, and Coco's retired. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Number 66, TJ McFarland.
So McFarland will now face Vogt. Blue Jays won again. They beat the Twins 3-1. Estrada got the win. Hughes the loss. So the Jays have won 6 out of 7. And Donaldson another home run. He's got 28 homers. Interesting, the Blue Jays 5.5 games behind the first place Yankees. But Ray, I looked at the schedule. Blue Jays and the Yankees still have 13 games left against each other. Think about that.
Oh wow, that's
13. They've only played 2 series so far this year.
6 games.
Coming up this weekend is one of those. Range by Hardy, 2 outs. So I don't think that race is over, folks. Not the way the Blue Jays are feeling about themselves right now. So as we speak, they're 5.5 out. Orioles 6. Rays 7.5.
Billy Butler.
Oh boy, what you got? 50, 55 games left somewhere in there.
Right, yep. But we're looking 7 games in the loss column for the Blue Jays. That's the number of games played. 3 more games played, so there's a difference there. But you know, that's a lot of games remaining with the team that you're chasing.
13.
Talking about the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry, I think that's going to change dramatically with what is going to be happening in Toronto and New York.
That's Michael Gibbons. He pitched last night. He gets up. Butler takes a strike. Yankees won big 13-3 over the Red Sox. It was a close game. But the Yankees scored 9 runs in the 7th inning, and that turned a 4-3 game into a 13-3 game. Butler, right side. Davis has it. 3 ground ball outs for TJ McFarland. So we're going to the 8th inning. Zach Rodriguez is coming in, and the A's leading 5-0.
is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
So the crowd tonight enjoying a 5-0 A's lead, top of the 8th inning. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Fernando Rodriguez comes in. So he will take over here in the 8th inning after Chris Bassett goes 7. And Machado to lead it off. Machado, Parra, and Jones. So it is the top of the order. Stephen Vogt, Ike Davis. It'll be Ike Davis in fair territory. Grabs it. So 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. And here's Parra for his 4th at bat. Parra with a base hit in the very first inning. He's 1 for 3. Royals beat the Tigers today 5-1. Duffy over Verlander. Verlander gave up 5 earned runs in 7 innings. One run for Salvador Perez, his 16th of the year.
The story in Detroit, Dave Dombrowski, longtime president and general manager.
Caught me by surprise.
I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. And he is out, and Al Avila, Al Avila, the father of Alex Avila, the catcher for the Tigers, has taken over as the general manager. Dombrowski had the world champions in Florida and then moved on to Detroit. Got through the trading deadline and gone.
Made a couple big trades too.
Rumor, speculation that he got it. He ain't got it.
Easy play.
Looking for a fan.
Very routine.
Right above the Raleigh Fingers retired jersey. Nice going. He's making a lot of friends, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I mean, I think he just gathers all the people, the kids around him, and because they know that's a good one. Delaire said Robin Hood. Yeah. Tommy, okay. Somebody down there, but that's a good call. But, you know, I think of closers like Houston Street has every baseball he ever closed a game with. Chen could have a whole wall of baseballs, you know, put down August 4th, 2015.
It's almost won a game.
Yeah, 8th inning, you know, just riding. But see, every time he knows, he looks up here because he knows what I'm talking about. He doesn't even have to check his phone anymore. He just looks up here.
Simeon has it. Throws in time, 2 outs. But I was reading about Dave Dombrowski today, Ray, and remember when he was the manager of the Expos? He took over in 1988. He was 31 years old.
Wow.
The Expos left a little while after that and moved to the Nationals. But his Tigers team has been puzzling this year.
Well, and there's some criticism, but you know, they won the division the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's, and in 2006 under he and Jim Leland swept the A's in the league championship. Good inning for them.
And Burns right in front of the CSN California sign makes the catch, and it is indeed a 3-up, 3-down inning. Your local Toyota dealers. 0-5-0 for the Orioles, 5-6-0 for the A's. A's broke it open with a 4-run 6th inning. Marcus Semien, a 3-run homer in that inning. Chris Bassett, terrific. He's got a chance to get his first win of the year. So bottom of the 8th inning, and Ike Davis will lead things off. TJ McFarland, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Orioles. And a 3-up, 3-down 7th inning, so his 2nd inning of work is set to get started. Davis, Laurie, and Kenna. Davis is 0 for 3, strikeout. Hit into a double play. Grounded out, and he's got a hit, and it's past Parra, and it's off the wall. So Ike Davis with a leadoff double.
Fans celebrate the A's fancy footwear with the White Cleats t-shirt giveaway presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort. It'll be Saturday, August the 8th, which happens to be this Saturday. One of the Oakland franchise's most recognizable and iconic trademarks, the White Cleats, were the brainchild of Charlie Finley and have been a staple for more than 4 decades. Get your tickets for the popular giveaway day now at athletics.com or by calling 877-493-BALL. Another great giveaway this Saturday, and should be a lot of fun. It's a great White Cleats shirt.
Should have kept your white cleats that you wore with the A's.
Should have kept a lot of my stuff.
I know. That could be a Ray Fosse helmet right there.
No ear flaps, so it could have been. That was prior to the ear flaps.
So here's Laurie, who had a big hit in this game, a triple in the 6th that knocked in a run. He later scored.
So we won the World Series, and Frank Chinchek, the clubhouse manager, said, "All right, everybody, put all the gear in the, after the end of the World Series." So I did it.
Never saw that jersey again.
No, never. It ended up in the minor league someplace.
It's really too bad if you think about it, because wouldn't it be great to have?
I know. You should have.
Now
they do.
Jerseys
now
from
they do.
73 and 74.
But Dick Green and Salvano, Joe Ruddy, all the guys said, "Forget that. We'll keep them." They have all those full uniforms: cleats, pants, shirts.
Wow. I wish you had yours.
I know.
So Laurie gets called out on strikes and fastball on the inside corner.
As the great Hawk Harrelson say, "Gone."
Now batting right fielder, number 23.
Well, that's twice, and Ike Davis, after Billy Butler had doubled to lead off the inning last inning, Davis hit a ball to third base, and Davis leads a double this inning. Brett Laurie, who tripled to score Billy Butler. Now Sam Fuld will try to pick up Brett Laurie.
So Fuld's first at bat takes a strike.
Martin Leon called back up yesterday, and right-handed with Fernando Abad.
And another fastball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Canawelli was in there, was 0 for 3. Full just got a piece of it. Sean Doolittle threw a simulated game today. Said he felt great, and well, if he wakes up tomorrow, gets to the ballpark, and feels good, there's a real good chance that he will go on a rehab assignment this weekend.
That'd be good.
So he's getting there.
Check out Jesse Chavez too. How about that?
Sweet.
Where did those socks come from?
Oh. Just fine. That's a little bit of everything right there.
Yes, it is.
You got Sonny Gray with kind of the modern way to wear the pants all the way down. You got Sean Doolittle. And then you got Jesse Chavez. Which, not sure what to call that look.
Well, you call them all-in-one stirrup with the green stripe.
Want an autograph? put down, huh?
Gus. Or maybe Bruce. Bruce on the
Reggie Jackson.
You got Gus over by the A's clubhouse and Bruce on the visiting side. So Bruce has the visiting side and the umpires. That's the umpire. Bruce.
You don't mess with Bruce.
No, he's top of the list.
Tapped over the mound. Scope has it. Flips to first. Fold is out. 2 outs. Davis at third. So Sogard will hit off the left.
Second baseman, 28.
Angels are trying to win it in the bottom of the ninth down in Anaheim. 0-0. And they have the winning run at second base against the Cleveland Indians. And as I look up, Ray, the starting pitcher for the Indians, Carlos Carrasco, and he's still out there. So if the Angels pull out a win, you do not want to be the starting pitcher and the loser on a walk-off on the road. That would not be fun. Strike thrower. It's past Ty Waller, so the count is 0-2 to Sogard. He's had a good night. Fly ball to center, a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored out of the 8th spot.
Thinking about that double by Ike Davis. Parra playing shallow, not quite as shallow as he is right now, but outfielders, the Orioles do play shallow, and the ball got past Parra. The double by Ike Davis. It's a matter of trying to cut off the balls in front versus the one over the head. The same thing happened to Adam Jones in center field on the ball that Brett Laurie hit. So you play shallow sometimes. Some of the hard hit balls get past you, but you'll rob more than you let get past you.
So 1-2 to Sogard. Adam Jones extremely shallow in center field.
And really, there's no chance to throw out Ike Davis to third. Don't have to there.
Strike 3 called, and that will do it for the A's in the bottom of the 8th. But they're going to try to finish off the win here, top of the 9th, 3 outs away. 5-0 A's over the Orioles.
So Marcus Semien, a 3-run homer tonight, and the A's leading 5-0, trying to even up this series at a game apiece. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Abad comes in for his 41st appearance. He's been pitching much better as of late after a tough start. And he faces Chris Davis. First pitch in for a strike. So the A's 3 outs away from win number 48. Davis a double and a walk and a fly ball to center field. Into the bat. Abad has not allowed a run in his last 10 2/3 innings.
Just thinking, Cap, Abad is doing what you should do as a reliever, and he had struggles, and really it's what happened to Errol Flaherty. He got his ERA up so high it was almost impossible to bring it back down to respectability. But Fernando Abad has, and probably the biggest thing for him is throw the breaking pitch, especially to the lefties, hard like that. It's off the plate. Still go back to the off-speed pitch he threw, and with Stephen Drew in New York, he hit off the facade of the second deck, made it a 3-run game. Big home run hit by Marcus Semien in that game off Miller, but you're helping a left-handed hitter if you throw something off speed.
Close pitch, just a little outside. 2-2. Wieters to follow, and then Hardy. Well, I think in seeing Abad last year and this year and the kind of stuff he has, he needs to make himself a very difficult at bat for left-handed hitter.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And in an era of specialization, lefty on lefty, and he does what you're supposed to do. At least he's doing it now, and challenging. Very good left-handed hitter, Chris Davis, whether it's lefties or righties, but throwing something off speed and throw a variety of the slider. This is a fastball away, shook off the slider.
And that one is a no swing.
It could have been either swing or strike.
Close both ways.
Yes.
So full count to Davis. Foul straight back. Remember, day baseball tomorrow to be the simulcast starting at 12:30. A's and the Orioles. A's will be in Baltimore for 4 games next weekend. Swing and a miss. Good pitch down and away, and Davis chased it, and it was a fastball at 93 miles an hour.
Now here's tonight's Honda Player of the Game, and for Chris Bassett, what a great job he did. Big fastball tonight. Had the great curveball working, and probably the most impressive was the final pitch at 96 when he struck out Snyder to end the 7th inning. But Chris Bassett finally got some run support, and he put up some big numbers. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. That is a season best for him, and he's looking for his first win as a member of the Athletics.
Wieters fouls it back. Wieters looking for his first hit not only tonight but in this series. He's 0 for 8. And that one hit foul down the third baseline. He was 0 for 5 last night. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Tonight he has lined out, hit a fly ball to left, and struck out. So the A's trying to finish off the shutout of the Orioles. Changeup that drops low. Hardy to follow. The pitching matchup tomorrow will be Kendall Graveman and Wei Yin Chen. Chen, the left-hander, has pitched some good games against the A's in the last couple of years.
Abad just missed with back-to-back changeups, so guess what he's going to throw now? And Matt Wieters knows it as well as us.
There's a line drive, base hit. So Wieters gets his first hit in the series. 1-out single here in the 9th inning.
Now batting, number 2, J.J. Hardy.
So Hardy hits for the 4th time. Hardy is 0 for 4. Or make it 0 for 3, excuse me. Mahiko will start to throw just a little bit. First pitch strike to Hardy. Everything is final around baseball except for that Angels-Indians game, which is now in the 10th inning. The Angels could not win it in the bottom of the 9th.
That was the leadoff double and nobody out. Is that it? Man at second, nobody out?
They had a man at second, I think, with 1 out.
1 out.
Carrasco got out of it, so he goes 9 innings of shutout baseball and gets a no decision.
Oh, when he says give me the ball, he means it.
Yes, he does. Kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
Bounced in the hole. Simeon can't get it on the dive, and Hardy has his first hit tonight. So back-to-back 1-out singles here in the 9th inning. And the switch hitter Paredes steps in.
Now batting, number 38, Jimmy Paredes.
And just in the hole and hit hard by J.J. Hardy. That's it. Setting up for a double play. That's not. I think we have a pinch hitter.
Yeah, we do. Caleb Joseph is going to hit.
Yeah, the big home run
Correction, the
last night.
batter is Caleb Joseph.
So he's hitting for Paredes. Caleb Joseph, they're having a nice year. 9 home runs in part-time duty. First pitch is outside.
Well, you want it to be clean. It's not clean right now, and after a strikeout, Davis on 3-2. Now Kurt Young's going to have to visit, give him a little bit of an opportunity, and really one hitter away if this hitter gets on to be in a save situation, and not going to push it. And I don't know, the save statistics are important. Caleb Joseph last night against Jesse Chavez, a crushed home run, and that was a no doubter left center.
For Jimmy Paredes.
So Wieters at second, Hardy at first as Kurt Young heads back to the dugout. Let's see if Abad can get a ground ball in the ball game, get a shutout for the A's. Swing and a miss on a fastball at 92 miles an hour.
The hitter should be able to look for and get the fastball. Like Joseph was on that one, and the home run he hit last night was just an easy swing. He tried to hit a home run with the fastball he just got from Abad. A bit away, but movement that time.
Now Abad ahead in the count. Scope is the on deck hitter.
A hard slider, and Stephen Vogt just raked it along the dirt.
Fastball. Joseph fights it off. Each team with 7 hits tonight. And Caleb Joseph, a hot hitter, and I'm sure that's why Buck Showalter wanted to get him an at bat here with a chance to get back in the game. You just don't want to see Machado, Parra, and Jones in this inning. That's what you do not want to see.
Matter of fact, I don't like your idea of the ground ball.
I think it's a good idea. 2-2 now.
Mahika is ready. He is standing out in the bullpen watching. Keep those guys right there. And a changeup, and he got him swinging. 2 outs here in the ninth.
Stephen Vogt kept going through the signs, and finally it was the one remaining. That would be the changeup, and he pulled the string perfectly. Big motion, and Stephen Joseph saw the fastball delivery, but got the changeup, and that was a great pitch from Abad.
So now Scope will hit with 2 outs. And the fastball a little bit outside. So Abad trying to get through the 9th inning. Fernando Rodriguez pitched a 3 up, 3 down 8th inning. Slider, and it's 1-1. Good pitch.
That's why with the lefties, that's a very good pitch, but to the righties, that back foot slider. And Fernando Abad has a good one. The fastball, of course, the changeup, that slider that he got Joseph to swing over and miss, and same for Scope here. So you go fastball in, fastball away, could go changeup away, hard slider down and in.
Close pitch called the ball. Bassett 1 out away from a win. Change out 2-2. It just never gets there.
It does.
70 miles an hour.
Look at the big delivery, and then you can see the circle, the changeup with the fingers high. And of course, the hitters don't. Fortunately, Fernando, he could go fastball, slider, changeup. He's got so many things to do. Changeup again.
And Scope reached for it again, but this time he got the bat on it.
Just barely. Been off the end of the bat.
Reach for, hit toward right, fold over there. He's got it, and that's the ball game. So Chris Bassett gets the win, and the